Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is your third chemistry tutorial for class 10th. I am your teacher, Miss Hafiza Sana from Army Public School, Sadar, SSC section. Today, we will cover two short topics. Number 1, conditions for equilibrium. Number 2, ways to recognize equilibrium. From chapter number 9, chemical equilibrium. The objectives of our class is, at the end of this lecture, students will be able to explain conditions for equilibrium and to identify the ways to recognize equilibrium. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, which is conditions for chemical equilibrium. Equilibrium is reached whether the pure reactants, pure products, or a mixture of reactants and products is initially placed in a closed container. Equilibrium is achieved only in a closed system. Question is why? So students, do you remember that I told you in my previous tutorial that equilibrium is established when the rate of forward reaction and the reverse reaction becomes equal, and in an open container some of the molecules are escape out from here. That's why equilibrium cannot establish in an open container, and in an closed container equilibrium is established. Why? Because none of the molecules are escape out from here, because container is closed. So I repeat, equilibrium is reached whether pure reactants, pure products, or a mixture of reactants and products is initially placed in a closed container. In any of these cases, a condition will eventually be reached in the container such that the forward and reverse reactions occur at exactly the same rate. This leads to a situation where the concentration of reactants and products remains the same as long as these following conditions are observed. Condition 1. Concentration of none of the reactant or product is changed. Means we do not add any amount of reactant and product. Students, keep in mind that all conditions is required to maintain equilibrium. Condition number 2, temperature of the system is kept constant. This means that temperature should not be changed. Condition 3 is pressure or volume of the system is kept constant. This also means that pressure or volume should not be changed. The third and second condition can only be done in a closed container, because in a closed container no amount of heat can leave or enter to the system. So, how to find that equilibrium is obtained? So, students, the second topic is ways to recognize equilibrium, or to find out that equilibrium is obtained or not. So, there are two methods to find concentration of reactants and product at equilibrium. Number 1, physical method. Number 2, chemical method. In a physical method, we use the technique spectroscopy. In an spectroscopy, we deal with the absorption property, which is a physical property. That's why it is called physical method. In chemical method, we deal with the technique titration. Students, you will learn these method in detail in your grade 11th. Students, this both method is helping out to find out the concentration of reactants or products. Let's have an example. In a closed container, we put 10 moles of reactant. So initially, product concentration is 0 and reactant concentration is 10 moles. But after some time, we find the concentration of products. For example, in first observation, we find the concentration of product is 2 moles and reactant concentration is 8 moles. Reactant concentration gradually decrease and product concentration is gradually increase. In third observation, we will find the concentration of product is 3 moles. In fourth observation, we will find the concentration of product 4 moles and reactant is 6 mole. In fifth observation, we will find the concentration of product 4 and reactant is 6. And in last observation also we can find the concentration of product is 4 moles. So, this means that product concentration is kept constant. Product concentration is not increasing. This is the actual concentration of product at equilibrium. We will start from 10 moles of reactant and at equilibrium we will find the concentration of reactant 6 mole and find the concentration of product 4 moles. So, by putting these values of concentration in Kc expression, concentration of product over concentration of reactant, so we will be able to find out the concentration. So, by using two methods, we will find the concentration and find the value of Kc. Okay, so equilibrium state of a chemical reaction can be determined by determining the concentration of reactants and products at regular intervals. When constant concentration of products and reactants is observed, the reaction is at equilibrium, as I have told you in previous example. So, let's have a very quick recap for you. We will discuss reversible reaction, chemical equilibrium. Reversible reaction, a reaction in which the products can react together to reform the original state, is called reversible reaction. And chemical equilibrium is a state of chemical reaction in which forward and reverse reactions takes place at the same rate, is called chemical equilibrium. Forward reaction means reactant produce product and the reverse reaction means product produce reactant. Okay. Equilibrium is achieved in a closed container, as I have told you. There are two methods to find out the concentration. Physical and chemical method is used to recognize equilibrium. Equilibrium is recognized by knowing the concentration of reactants and a product. Okay students, so there is an assignment for you. Number 1, state a condition for equilibrium. Question number 2, state the ways that equilibrium can be recognized. Question number 3, why equilibrium is achieved in a closed container. Solve these assignment. Solve these questions by yourself. Hope you will understand and enjoy the video. If you have any queries, any question regarding this, you can ask me. Thank you.